Formula 1 arrives at Japan, where once again the main news was that none of the teams were opting to bring any upgrades due to the strict token system that had been employed by the FIA on not just the Sashi but also the aero side as well. With that there, Red Bull were looking to bounce back in the Constructors' Championship, with Max Verstappen having a comfortable lead ahead of the two Mercedes drivers. They were looking towards their second car of Nico Hülkenberg getting some more points, especially the fact that Hülkenberg had been unlucky at times with the reliability of his Cosworth engine. Ferrari meanwhile were also looking forward to getting some more points. They still think that they can get at least 4th place in the Constructors' Championship with some strong finishes in the final 4 rounds, but they admit that both cars need to score points, something that neither driver is doing consistently at the moment. They also had to like that their upgrade plan for 2023, when the new regulations come in, will mean that they are likely to be a lot faster than they are now and hope to be closer to the front of the grid. Mercedes meanwhile are hoping to be able to work both of their drivers to catch Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship after a comfortable margin has been opened up to Red Bull in the Constructors. Mercedes said they would sacrifice the Constructors' Championship to a point to beat Verstappen, but have added that at the end of the day it is a team game. Hamilton puts one foot in front of Verstappen by claiming pole position by 2/10 over his Dutch rival, who starts second. George Russell starts down in third again. Alonso starts way down in 4th, the usual top 4 there. Qualifying. Nico Hülkenberg starts up in 5th place, hoping to gain good points. Sebastian Vettel starts in 6th for Aston Martin. Lance Stroll starts in 7th place. Lando Norris starts up in 8th place for McLaren. Esteban Ocon starts 9th, bouncing back from his being caught out last time, with Charles Leclerc running out the top 10. Slowest of all in the final qualifying. Daniel Ricciardo missed out on Q3 by trying to run the medium tyres in Q2. He will start 11th alongside Peter Hampson again in 12th. Alex Albon qualified ahead of Carlos Sainz. They both start 13th and 14th. Sainz not very happy with the performance of his car so far. Mick Schumacher gets into Q2 once again. He starts in 15th ahead of Danny Kvyat, who failed to get out of Q1 for the second consecutive race. He starts 16th. Also failing to get out Q1 is Pierre Gasly, another poor string of qualifying for him. He starts 17th alongside Callum Ilott. And back to the back of the grid are the 2 4s for today's Japanese Grand Prix. Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of F1 Project Phoenix, a 2021 career mode. Episode number 13 today for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Hoping to have better success here than we've had so far in this game. Again, this is another track that I particularly struggle. I've struggled at more than in other games previously, especially through Sector 1. Sector 3, of course, I'm pretty rapid, so yes, we'll see what we can do, starting from 12th again on the grid. Of course, if you have missed, by the way, any of the previous videos, there is a link to the playlist in the description below, so I recommend you go and check them out before progressing to sort of catch up and see where we are and how we got to this position in the championship. We're moving to the grid then. It's going to be a 2-stop. Now, I'm going to fast forward this because I did a load of umming and ahhing, and basically I decided in the end to not actually do any of what you're seeing on screen now, and changed up mid-race, and instead decided I wanted to do a 2-stop. Obviously, the 1-stop I was looking at there wasn't really effective, but basically the 2-stop strategy, starting on the mediums, moving then to the softs, and then go to the mediums, a bit like what the excuse me, a bit like what what Verstappen and Hamilton have been doing in previous races. So we'll see what that strategy is like as five lights are out, and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's a good start, better than Ricciardo and Leclerc, and couldn't quite see who that was. We're going to try and round the outside of Lando Norris into turn, I think it's Ocon, excuse me, who I couldn't see. We're going to defend from Ocon. Ocon is getting aggressive, and I think Ocon might be out. I definitely do think Ocon might be out there. This is, he gets on the grass. We try and give him as much space as possible, but I don't know if there's a little bit of understeer, but that's a 50-50. The FIA haven't given me a warning for that, and it's only a virtual safety car to recover Ocon. Can we do, it's a bit of a 50-50 on that, we'll come back to that in just a moment, but dive down the inside of Norris on the hairpin, thank you very much, and that's us up into the points. Norris tries to actually lose it out to one of the Ferraris, but then comes back at the Ferraris on the exit on towards Spoon Curve and stays ahead of Leclerc, or does he? Leclerc comes back on the second Spoon Curve. Norris will have the outside though, and the better exit out towards 130R and get the position done, as we're looking now quickly a little bit at Hülkenberg versus Alonso, a battle that's been going on all season long, and Alonso remains ahead of Hülkenberg for the time being. But going quickly back to Ocon, it's a bit of a 50-50 with that. Yeah, Ocon, it was too close, as Norris now is trying to have a go at us on lap 4. Nothing doing there, we cut him off into that section. But you can see how much we're gaining through this final section up to 130, and we've left Norris for dead in this in the third sector. It's only the first sector. In actual fact, we're closing up to one of the Aston Martins. I think it's Stroll. As Stroll pits, and we're coming out. There's a Alpine car. I think that must be Alonso, because Ocon is out. As Hamilton has maybe this might be crucial for the championship, because Hamilton is started on the sauce where Russell and Verstappen started on mediums. Russell and Verstappen have now come in, and you can see the effect there on your mini-map. That second green dot is Lewis Hamilton. So Russell and Verstappen have now made their pit stop onto a set of soft tyres. There you can see the red soft tyres. And is that Russell having a look at Verstappen for what would be effective race lead? I think it is. We might have in fact played our hand in the championship towards Mercedes, you know. Let's get a replay of that. So yeah, this is on the approach to 130R. Verstappen got blocked by Mir coming out of Spoon, and as a result that allowed Russell to get the better exit on the approach to 130R and get up into what will be effectively the race lead once we pull into the pits, which is now the end of lap 10. The tyres are pretty much gone off. They only came in a lap before anyway. So yeah, see if Russell can keep himself ahead of Verstappen. I mean, we gifted him the lead at Belgium, if I remember rightly, and he didn't manage to retain the lead, so we'll have to wait and see. But the soft tyres are going on now, and 2.5 second stop, that's not bad from Williams. Obviously we've had better, but then again we've had worse. Alpine is all I'm going to say about that. So coming out in P10, it's not been that great. Hülkenberg, I think, had front wing damage, is why he was so slow in that opening stint, probably I think caused on the opening lap with Alonso probably. But yes, moving to lap 14 now, you can see that the soft tyres aren't giving us the performance. We don't really have the pace, and it might be tough to get points as Hülkenberg's down the inside. We've given him space, but Hülkenberg is out of the race. Replay on board with Hülkenberg. So obviously he's coming up this swooping right-hander. It's not really a space. We give him as much space as I can't give him physically any more space there, and that Ricciardo is out as well, by going into the back. So the safety car has come out, and I also believe Alex Albon has retired as well with an engine failure while that was going on as well. So it's all going on. We're down to 15 runners here in Suzuka as we're coming into the pits for a set of hard tyres. They should comfortably go to the end. It's what everybody else, and we've jumped Sebastian Vettel in the pits. So Vettel's been held up. I think Stroll jumped Vettel on the first round of pit stops, which is why he is now that they've lost positions, Aston Martin, because Vettel now is behind us. And as we're watching Yuki Tsunoda as well, who's at the back with one of the fours, he is also out. So we've had 2 engine failures and 2 crashes in this safety car period. We're down to 14 runners. The 2 Mercedes have got ahead of Russell was already leading, but Hamilton has got ahead of Verstappen in the pit stops. So it's a Mercedes 1-2. I think what is the first time this season we've had a Mercedes 1-2. Can they take the fight to Verstappen? Now in the championship, well, keeping ahead of them will have to be what we can see as we're getting underway on lap 17. Not really be able to catch up to Sainz, but Sainz has had a lock up into the final corner. We can't really capitalise. Tried to go around the outside of Sainz, and now moving to the start-finish straight. We've got loads of the ERS to play with, and we're just going to pull through on the outside as you want to be through turn 1 and move up into P7 and more points as Sergio Perez, the only man not to pit on to hard tyres under the safety cars, come in for a 3rd stop, and he'll be way behind now, and chance of getting any points. Well, you can see there we jumped to lap 23 and we've already dropped the others part of the grid. We're still hanging on to this group of Norris, Stroll and Alonso, but this is the group behind us, headed by Callum Ilott in the top 10 for the first time. I think this is for 10th place. Obviously no points in this series for 10th place, so then there's an AlphaTauri as well. Gasly's in there as well, our teammate. He hasn't really had the best of times, Gasly, in this series, so yeah. But we jumped to lap 27. The tyres have gone off the cliff up to 68. You can see that the trio in front of us have literally gapped us now, where the gap was like 1 or 2 seconds into DRS. It's now 3 or 4 seconds as we come up through the final corner. Sainz has been pressurising us for P7, but not to be today for Verstappen, and we're going to come out the final corner. A little bit of a twitch on the final entry, but nothing that we can't handle, and we come across the line for what is P7. And considering the pace that we had today, which was nowhere, not really anywhere really, I'll definitely take it's more points on the board. We'll definitely take that. You can see that the front 3 sprinted away, 12 seconds clear at the front of the grid, and George Russell winning by pretty much 1/10, separating the entire podium. Very close there. I think that's the closest finish we've had all season. And I definitely haven't seen a close finish like that in real life at all, since I think Ricciardo slowed everybody up with his front wing damage at Monaco those years ago. And then Gasly, Kvyat, Schumacher and Perez finished behind Ilott in 10th place. The people that were very behind, Perez was way behind anyway because of his extra pit stop, with Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Albon, Ricciardo, Leclerc and Ocon, 2 drivers there. Sort of 50-50s with myself. Again, I tried to leave them as much space as possible, but at the end of the day, it's not always that possible, and collisions do occur. Verstappen, though, his lead has come down. It's only 11 points now, and Russell, well, I feel Verstappen still has one hand on the championship. Ultimately, it depends if Russell or Hamilton can get victory if Verstappen retires. Alonso now is moving comfortably clear of Vettel, who hasn't scored 3 races now. Stroll and myself are now caught up to Vettel as well. Norris and Sainz were the only other scores in the top 12. In terms of the constructors, Mercedes are streaking ahead compared to Red Bull. I think Mercedes should win this, and I think it should be Red Bull and Aston Martin second and third. Fourth is a big question. 5 points separating ourselves. In 6th to Alpine in 4th. I'm not entirely sure about Ferrari. They've been too inconsistent for me to be able to really be considering them. They might just have to settle for P7, which I know Tifosi fans will be very upset about, but that is the woes that their car has produced. But yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you if you're new. See plenty more videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.